Take care, Doc. All right, folks, you heard it, and check it out on tomorrow. It is World AIDS Day. Just because it's not in the news every day like COVID-19 does not mean that it is not a very serious issue in our community in particular. We got to take a quick break, and again, like they say, it's Saturday night, night. We'll be right back.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." For all young people to succeed in Philadelphia public schools, they need adequate resources and materials. But not all students have the same access and opportunities they deserve. As Philadelphia public schools continue to operate with remote learning, we at WURD Radio want to do our part to help students have the resources they need to be successful. Please join us and our community partners, Global Citizen and the Cayuga Elementary School, by donating supplies online so students have the same supplies we would want for our own children. Go to globalcitizen365.org to make an online contribution of supplies.
COVID-19 impacted a lot of things this year, including regular vaccination appointments. Vaccines help protect you and everyone around you, especially during flu season. Schedule an appointment with your healthcare provider today to make sure you and your children are vaccinated. Vaccines keep us safe, and they work. Skip the flu this year. Get your vaccination today. Let's stay protected together. For more information, visit health.pa.gov, paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Livelihood, the new initiative from WURD Radio, connecting Philadelphians to jobs, entrepreneurship opportunities, small business resources, and financial literacy. Visit WURDworks.com right now and take the next step in your professional journey. Livelihood is supported by the Nightland Fest's Local News Transformation Fund, Borealis Philanthropies Racial Equity and Journalism Fund, and the Solutions Journalism Network. WURD Radio presents the following wellness tip to support our listeners with mindfulness and motivation as we continue to navigate the pandemic together.
Hi, this is Halana, your resident health and wellness coach with tips to help you stay well. Let's talk about eating mindfully. Often we are rushing from moment to moment and we hurry through our eating like it's checking off an item on our to-do list. Each day for each meal, let's commit to doing these 3 simple things to activate our mindful eating experience. Number 1, slow down. Number 2, eat while you're sitting down. And number 3, chew each bite 20 to 30 times. You can do it. Eating mindfully is something we can all do to support our overall health and digestion. Go ahead and try it for your next meal today. Stay well with WURD. Happy living.
Stay well with WURD. Connect with us at WURDradio.com. Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Staples Store. Still not too bad as you move on this morning. 95 southbound, a little slow through the construction, Cotton down through Bridge. Getting busy. Then again, Betsy Ross through Girard northbound looks pretty good. Westbound Vine Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway, a bit slow there. 76 westbound, getting heavy University through the Vine Expressway through that construction. Near Jan from Gladwell now through the Conshohocken Curve now because of an accident. Eastbound Schuylkill looks good. PA Turnpike, Blue Route 476 in pretty good shape. 55 northbound building now north of Deptford in the 42. Staples Print and Marketing Services makes connecting with clients and loved ones easy with hundreds of holiday templates you can customize all on your own. Right now, get 50% off select custom cards and invitations. Ends 12/5, limit 1. Visit staples.com/holiday cards or store for details. Staples. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Crystal Cly.
Good morning. We've got a really active forecast today. During the morning hours, a steady to heavy rain is likely, and it will be windy as well. In the afternoon, some strong to severe thunderstorms are possible. That means the threat of damaging winds will get up to a high of 66 degrees. We dry out by the Eagles game tonight. 45 degrees is the low into your Tuesday morning. And Tuesday, we're colder, windy, mostly cloudy, and a high of just 47. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Crystal Cly with your most accurate forecast. Count on it.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Mark Kelly Tyler and Dwayne David Royster. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news, happenings around Philadelphia, and, of course, our opinions. Apology to our Facebook followers today. For some reason, we're having some struggles with Facebook, but we're hoping to get that back up and get that moving shortly for each and every one of you. Hey, Doc, I wanted to jump back in, and I wanted to challenge something that you said. See, you went to break the first time, and we didn't finish having our conversation about Trump and democracy, and I kept saying this is a failure of democracy that he was president this long. There are outlets that we have to be able to use to get rid of unsuitable presidents. And the way things played out, the fact that he was able to stay in office, in my opinion, was a deep failure of democracy, considering all the things that he has done, including the Emoluments Clause, including cutting deals with folk, including Russia, and all those things that are impeachable offenses and should have seen him removed from office. The only benefit that this serves us right now, that he stayed all the way to this election, is that I'm not sure Joe Biden could have beat Mike Pence. That's the only thing that I see a benefit in. But I think it's a failure of democracy that he wasn't impeached long ago, that the Senate and the House did not. Well, the House did their jobs, but I don't think they went far enough. I think they should have included other charges. They didn't go far enough, and the Senate did not impeach him. He should have been thrown out of office.
No.
He wasn't thrown out of office. That's why.
No. See, you're starting to sound like Trump now.
I'm not sounding like Trump. He should have been.
No. See, Trump doesn't win the election, and so it's got to be fraudulent. No, he lost. That is democracy working. Tell me what happened. Tell me how Trump stayed in office illegally. Tell me one thing that he did that was illegal to keep himself in office.
There was nothing he did illegal, but I think what the Senate did was unethical.
No, tell me what the Senate did that was illegal. Tell me what Trump voters did in 2016 that was illegal.
It's not an issue of being illegal. It is the issue of being unethical.
No, bro, that's not the point you brought up. The point you are making is you said it's a failure.
It was illegal democracy. I said it was a failure of democracy.
But this is not democracy failing. This is democracy working. Democracy is a government that is governed by the people. The people decided in 2016, though we don't like it. We didn't create the rules. Now, a majority of the Americans said no to Donald Trump. In 2 elections, he did not receive the majority of the popular vote. But we are not a democracy governed by the popular vote. There are a lot of rules in democracy that we don't like. In my home city of Oakland, for example, the mayor is not elected just straight out in a popular vote. They use ranked voting, which I happen to hate, but it's the choice that the city has gone in. I mean, nobody picked that for them. It was decided as a city. And so a person who does not get the majority of the votes in the first round can somehow leapfrog and become the mayor of Oakland. You know what? But that's how democracy works. So the rules that have been established is that we will elect a president by electoral college. There are some pros and cons to that process. So in my opinion, Donald Trump was elected in a democratic process. He remained president because we felt, and that's what I'm saying, the reason I keep saying we can't fall into that is that then that takes us off the hook. We allowed Donald Trump to become president because we didn't show up in 2016 and we didn't show up in 2018. And bro, let's be real. In 2020, while we celebrate Donald Trump's defeat, the House Democrats lost a net 12 seats. And they should have had the Senate by 3 or 4 seats right now and are fighting for their lives just to get a 50-50 tie. How does that happen? Democracy. And when we take our foot off the gas and when we don't show up, then we are failing ourselves. And that's all I'm saying. I don't think it's a failure of democracy.
I hear you on that.
It is democracy.
I hear you on that. I just think that there are fail-safes that have been put in place through our Constitution that have failed miserably, and they did not do. They did not.
What?
They were supposed to do.
Like what?
The ability to impeach or remove a president. I think that should have happened.
But see,
that should have happened.
Royster, in the House, we controlled the House. They had the ability to draw up impeachment articles. They drew them up, and they passed them, and they sent them to the Senate. The Senate then has the responsibility to examine and accept or reject. Hey, no, ain't no rocket science here. It's like, did we ever really think that a Mitch McConnell Senate would actually follow through with the impeachment of Donald Trump? Of course not. I mean, Bill Clinton was impeached. but he was not put out.
We're gonna disagree on this now. Bernita Francine says she agrees with me. I'm just letting you know that this is a failure of democracy.
I hear you. You and Bernita, I hear you both. But again, like I said, no, it was a failure on the part of Democrats in 2016 to vote for Hillary Clinton because they couldn't get over, I don't know, whatever it was they couldn't get over, and they thought that this obnoxious person, this arrogant person, this person who was deeply flawed, who had blurred lines, who had just opened a hotel across the street from D.C., who never distanced himself from his business, they thought that he would be better than her. They thought that he and she were the same coin, two different sides, all those arguments. That's what happened. That's how we got Donald Trump.
Because I want to correct something. Robert Garland, he was impeached by the House. That is correction. An impeachment is basically an indictment. What happens is that he did not. They had a sham trial, which is what happens to white male in this country, white men in this country, white privilege. He had a sham trial in the Senate that did not hold him accountable for what he had to do.
What laws did the Senate break? What laws did the Senate break? What laws did the Senate break?
It was a sham trial. I didn't say, I never said anything was illegal. I said that we failed. There's a difference. There's a difference between the two.
You know when we failed? We failed in 2018 when Pat Toomey should have been run out of office. And in this state, we elected 5 state offices. I'm sorry, 2016. And in those 5 state offices, we didn't vote for Hillary Clinton or Katie McGinty, and yet all 3 of the white male Democrats went on to win easily in the same state that the 2 women who ran statewide could not get those seats. So like I said, when you walk back through these elections, the failure is not when you get to that point. I mean, listen, it's like when you're going against the champ in a sporting contest, whether it's football or basketball. If you're going to leave it to the refs to decide with you as the challenger against the champ, I'm sorry. Don't put me in that position as the ref because you got to go at the champ every time. If you're going to try to foul Jordan, no, you ain't going to get that call. And what we have done is we've kept putting it in the refs' hands. Now, clearly, 80 million people came out and said no to Donald Trump. But again, and I wish we had time today to talk about it, one of the stories I wanted to get to, but we could do it tomorrow, is about the analysis of how Democrats lost so many House seats. When it was expected that they would pick up more seats, they have a net loss of 12, and now the majority is threatened. And who knows what happens in 2022, given the backlash that always comes with the presidential winning party in the midterm elections. And so I just think that those are some of the things that we've got to really focus on and concentrate on in this moment.
I'm just going to say this. The Democrats have to – I'm going to drop the rest of the conversation because I just disagree. Yeah. We're arguing apples and oranges. You're trying to argue legality. I'm talking about a failure just of structural democracy. But anyway, here I'm going to quote Mike McBride, Pastor Mike McBride here for a minute. The Democrats over the next 2 years have to show that the policies that they put forth impact the material conditions of everyday people. And if they are able to do that, they will be able to win the elections in 2022. That's what it's going to take. It can't be esoteric. It's got to be real policies that impact people that they can point to and say, oh, because the Democrats did this, my life is better. So in 18 months,
Period.
18 months.
No, you could try it out. You could try that in the next 35 days, because if I'm running Raphael Warnock's campaign or John Ossoff, I have one message in Georgia. It is this: to all you poor rural Georgians who have no money, you've been waiting on a stimulus check to come in. Your money is coming if you elect these 2 men. If you do not, Mitch McConnell is going to block every effort, and you will not get another $1,200 check. Period. It is financial. Make that the message for the country. And in the city, you take a similar message, that a Joe Biden presidency with a Senate and House behind him will eliminate the majority of your college debt. AU Center, Emory University, Georgia State, Georgia Tech, UGA, all of you people with this heavy debt, it's going to be eliminated. Now it's a pocketbook issue. You don't have to deal with the rest of the stuff at this point, but that has to be the messaging right now, and they need some intensity, and they need to focus on it. Again, it's the economy, stupid. It always has been, and it always will be.
All right. We got to go. Oh, that's right. I closed this out.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting on you.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening with us, and thank you to Reverend Dr. Cynthia Dowdy from Philadelphia Fight for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow morning to bring you the latest in the news, happenings around Philadelphia, and of course our opinion. Shout out to Quatha Masters for holding the board down for us this morning. Thank you, Dr. Tyler. Listen, family, go out, change the damn world, because if you don't, nobody else will. Stay tuned for Solomon Jones. Wake up with Word.
Weight on my shoulders.